Skinny Hardaway Southern T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. Hit that subscription button as well. We talk this good basketball, boxing, MMA, sports, parlays, predictions every single day, not just today. Today, we here with a Sweet 16 EP. We go predict all 8 games. So let's get into it. The first round game, we got Texas Tech versus the Arkansas Razorback. This is high-level basketball right here. You got Texas Tech, who has looked like one of the better teams in the country for the better part of the year. So is Arkansas, right? Look like one of the better teams coming out of the SEC, which is the best conference in the division. In this game, I'm going to be taking Arkansas with the points at the 5.5. I think it's a good play, for Arkansas, given all things considered. Next round, we got Duke versus Arizona. Again, big-time college basketball, big-time programs, big-time players, right? Caleb Love and Cooper Flagg. This is going to be one of the better games, I think, of the Sweet 16. Duke right now, they managed to win a couple games without Cooper Flagg. They look even better with Cooper Flagg. Arizona, Caleb Love has put them on his back. In this game, I'm going to have to side with Duke, although I do think that Arizona is a formidable opponent, and they're going to get them a bit of a scare. Next, we got Alabama versus BYU. Shout out to BYU for getting this far, but I think this is where that BYU story is in Alabama. Again, coming out the SEC, the strongest division in basketball, this team right here just looks like they're on a mission. Haven't played the toughest, matchups given in their bracket. Neither really has BYU. Right, beating Wisconsin, which was my team that I thought, was the most fickle. I got Alabama over BYU. We got Florida versus Maryland. Another good game, I think. Florida and Maryland both are coming off games where, they had to dig down deep late to pull off the wins. To pull out the win. Willie Clayton had to come up big for Florida. Derek Queen came up big for Maryland. And now they're facing off against one another. I think this is going to be a pretty good game as well. I got Florida winning this game. Florida looks like, they may be, that championship team. But let's wait to see. We got Houston versus Purdue. Shout out to Purdue, for winning in the fashion that they have won up until now. Purdue was one of those teams that I had questions about, but they have came out here and they answered the questions. Houston literally has been, top 5 team all year long. Really, really tough on defense. This is going to be a good game, probably the most competitive game. In this game, I'm going to side with Houston. I think they're slightly better than Purdue. In the next game, we got Auburn versus Michigan. You got Michigan probably being one of the hottest teams in college basketball right now, right? They have ridden it through the conference tournament to get the win, and they've ridden it straight into March Madness. You got Auburn, right, who's ended the year kind of rough, losing 3 out of 4 games, but in the tournament they picked up 2 wins. They've seemed to get in this habit of playing all the teams close, but they have came out on the winning side in each. I think in the best game, Auburn win or Michigan on the points. We got We got Kentucky versus Tennessee. Big time college basketball, SEC rivals. Kentucky has impressed me in this tournament. Tennessee has pretty much done what Tennessee has done up until this point. I like this Kentucky team. I really do. I'm going to go with this Kentucky team with the points versus Tennessee, although I do think Tennessee wins the game. And last but not least, we got Michigan State versus Ole Miss. These two teams have looked, a bit different in the tournament, right? Michigan State has found a way to get it done. Haven't looked their greatest. Good win over Marquette in their first round, but Ole Miss has pretty much dominated, their competition, especially given that they have been the dog, in their last battle, and they won that game pretty handily, right? Ole Miss has impressed me with their defense. As long as this offense can keep it up, I think Ole Miss is going to be a problem, man. I got Ole Miss for this, which probably going to be an upset win. All right, just to give you a recap on the picks, we got Alabama money line, Florida money line, Duke money line, Arkansas plus 5.5, Ole Miss plus 3.5, Kentucky plus 4.5. We got Michigan plus 7.5, and then we got Houston on the money line. What I'm about to do now is I'm about to show y'all what all of my thoughts are. My three most favorite games are Bama -4.5, Ole Miss +3.5, and Michigan +7.5. I think Bama got a good matchup with BYU. BYU has played well up until this point, but I think Bama is just on a whole different level. I think Bama wins that game by 5 points or more. We got Ole Miss with the points. I actually think Ole Miss, with the way that they're playing, they may have a chance to win their game outright. I may end up taking Ole Miss, straight up on the money line. But I think you can't go wrong with Ole Miss with that 3.5 or, 2.5 or wherever that line may be, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, whether, it fluctuates up or down. Take Ole Miss with the points in your back pocket because they're probably going to win outright. And I just think 7.5 points on Michigan is just, more than enough points. I like having those points in my back pocket. I do think Auburn wins, but Auburn hasn't been blowing teams out lately, right? So I think us getting 8 points on Michigan, I think we're winning with that. So let's take that Michigan 7.5. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a couple picks for some games that's today as well, 3/24/25. I like Texas women with the -18.5 over Illinois. I think Texas women is a much better team. Also, I'm going to give you my women's Final Four. Yes, I do have Texas making the women's Final Four as well. So Texas -18.5 today, and Texas women to make the Final Four. Again, this game is today also, 3/24/25. We got Oklahoma women over the Iowa women. You could take them on the money line, or you could take the -4.5. As far as my Final Four pick, this is one of the tougher regions, right? You got UConn, USC, Iowa, and Oklahoma. All of those women, I think, are capable of winning, this bracket, this region. I'm going to go with USC to beat UConn to come out of this region. But today's pick, we got Oklahoma money line or -4.5, and that's the winner. All right, 3/24/25. We got LSU women versus Florida State. In this game, I'm going to go with LSU women. You can take them on the -10.5. I think that this LSU women's team is dangerous, especially with Flage coming out of this bracket. My Final Four pick, I think it's going to be UCLA versus LSU in a good game. I'm going to take LSU, man, to come out this division over UCLA. It's going to be UCLA or LSU, right? One of those. I'm going to take the underdog, maybe LSU. Flage Johnson, is a beast. But LSU -10.5 today over Florida State women. And last but not least, I got the South Carolina women coming out of their region. I also have the South Carolina women winning the championship outright. You can get that at +200 right now. I think the South Carolina women's team is the best team. I think they have the best coach, and I think they win the ship again. South Carolina women to win it all. Their future is +200. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Skin Hardaway Southern Tea. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But it's the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.